Okay, well, Tommy's 5. He was diagnosed when he was 2, so we've had 3 years of dealing and knowing about his autism now. He still has no speech, no language communication, although he does know all the trains, the engines, and Thomas the tank, but that's about as far as his language will go. Tommy?
I'm Katie, and I've got a son, Lucas, who's 6 years old, who was referred for diagnosis 2 years ago at the Children's Centre in Caerphilly. Just for the fact that we had problems, lack of speech, delayed development in all areas, from sitting up to walking to talking. The signs also of flapping his ears and twiddling things all the time. Just gave us an indication, having had past experience of working with children with autism, that there may be something wrong.
Well, I'm Margaret.
And I'm Bert. And this is Jordan.
And he was diagnosed with autism in January. He doesn't like changes at all. See, but in school they prepared him for it first. If there's going to be any changes, then he's prepared the day before.
Yeah.
You know.
That is the biggest thing with him.
And he's a nightmare with his food.
Yeah.
He is a nightmare with his food.
But as long as he's warned previously to any change, he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy's a loving child. He's very adorable. He's happy most of the time, and I would say about 60% of the time he's okay. It's when he's a challenge that's the problem. He's a challenge. When he's a challenge, he's your challenge.
Life as a family can be hard, trying to juggle time for everybody, for the other children besides the child with autism, and also finding time for yourself and your husband. Because obviously if children don't go to bed till late at night, by the time you get them settled, you're nearly ready to go to bed yourself.
What do you want, darling?
No, don't go.
What do you have to do differently? We had to learn. We had to go on a huge learning curve about what autism was. Understand why, understand what, and see what we could do differently. We were told about speech and language therapy, so we looked into having that. We had to go private because the waiting lists were far too long, and it was just a question of, well, we didn't really know what to do. There was no guidance, there was no, this is what you can do to help at all. There was nothing, so we were just left in the dark. We just didn't know how to could respond to him. We went on the NAS help course. And we went on the early bird course, but that was about, he was diagnosed in the April and we went on the early bird in the September, so it was quite quick, but only then were we told things like reduce your language, slow down, wait for a response. If you're asking him something, make sure he gives you a response before you actually give in and give it to him. So that was a few months in when we started to learn some little techniques like that. But to begin with, we just didn't know what to do differently. We just didn't understand it at all. So we just carried on the best we could.
I have a little boy, Liam, who is 8 years of age. Liam has Asperger's syndrome, which is a high-functioning form of autism. Liam's biggest problems, or a child with Asperger's biggest problems, is social communication and interaction. Which unfortunately in life we need that every day. People need that to get on in life.
Liam does repeat a lot of things off the telly, in books that you've seen, any pictures, any facts that he knows. Given time for Liam to talk, he will talk and talk and talk and talk, and all you can do is listen. I think he finds it's the most comfortable way to socialise with other people, especially adults. I don't often see him talking to people his age, maybe younger, maybe slightly older, like our next door neighbours, who have a boy the same age, but he'd rather spend half an hour talking to a 6-year-old man about dinosaurs than playing football with a 9-year-old boy. So it can be quite funny, quite very hilarious at times. So
The thing is, I think with when you're diagnosed with autism in the family, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know, first of all, what it is, the condition is, or how to deal with it. But you don't know an awful lot more. You don't know about the support you can get financially. You don't know about the free nappies you can get if your child is over 3. You don't know that you can have a reduction on your council tax bill if you've got a special room for them. You don't know an awful lot. You know, you're then faced with, how do I get the haircut? What about the dentist? Going out to anywhere in public place, you're faced with, these people don't understand my child, and so you eventually feel that you have to stay indoors. Whether he will live to be independent or not, we really don't know. I mean, that is a concern of mine, obviously. I don't know. I'd love to think that he'd be able to grow up and he'd be able to have relationships and have a family of his own, but at the moment, I really don't know if that's going to happen for him.
My biggest concern with Liam is if he were to be able to live an independent life. I do worry.
I'd like to see him, I'd like to live long enough then to see him do well at school, because he is very, very bright, and go on to college. That's my hopes for him and wishes for him.